So I just really quickly wanted to make a comment about the Kevin Leonardo um, blackface euphoria thing. Let's really get into it, and I'm going to cut through real quick. Here's the bottom line for you guys. Anti-blackness is worldwide, and it is one of the most easiest ways to get eyes on you on social media. I know this because as a black person who has been creating content for a very long time, I have quite literally had to sit through series of, person expressing racism towards me who doesn't actually end up facing any sort of justice for said racism, but is instead met with defense. When I made my video not that long ago about iDubbbz apologizing for the N-word, so many of the comments I received were from people who were basically trying to argue that there is a non-racist way to say the N-word as a white person. Which for me revealed that, these people want to say the N-word, right? When these people complain about, sensitivity culture and this and this and that, really what they're complaining about is the fact that they can't be as openly racist as they once were. There was a time where they were racist and we wouldn't really say much about it, or we couldn't really say much about it, or we couldn't be heard saying much about it. But now people are so invested in making sure that they are performing, not really actually doing it, but performing inclusion, that there are a lot of people who will lose opportunities for openly expressing anti-blackness, and it's that is more important than anything, right? Not the fact that what they're doing is actually impacting black people negatively, but that as a marketing sort of strategy, it makes them look bad. And what you can get from that is the fact that blackness is really only interesting to most people as far as it is profitable or as far as it harms your profits. We already know this. We're having lots of conversations about a lot of that right now with hip hop. A lot of people, they have this, simultaneous rejection and repulsion of blackness, but also obsession with it. And when I look at his page, it's giving obsession, but it's also giving, I don't have anything interesting to say. I have nothing interesting to contribute, but I know that if I do blackface, if I, talk about black people, it will get me a lot of attention. And frankly, people like this have always been, in my opinion, the bottom barrel of all of the creators on the internet, because all you can do is latch yourself onto one of the most popular forms of hate, one of the most widely defended sources of hate. So in summary, I'm bored. I'm bored. And I was bored years and years ago when people were doing it on YouTube, and even before that when people were doing it on other websites. It is always going to be a thing. And I think a lot of people have tricked themselves into believing that it isn't a thing. Something that I sort of had to accept long ago, and this is why I try not to make too much content, like long form content about racism and shit anymore, is that people are significantly more racist than I think a lot of us realize. I think that a lot of us would like to believe that it's a minority, but we see the way that people react to anti-blackness. We see the way that people react when we talk about police brutality against black bodies, right? We see what this is, and it's silly to sort of pretend that that's not there anymore. Anti-blackness is all Kevin Leonardo is capable of doing. That's why he's doing it, and it works. It works. It gets him hate, it gets him love, and it ultimately feeds him. It ultimately gives him an opportunity to be lauded by probably a lot of the people who absolutely hate him. And as a trans woman, I of course understand the process of, pandering, engaging in the stupid hate that society at large does so that you can maybe seem a bit closer to the people who ultimately want to kill you. And I could sit here and say that he's digging his own grave, but if I'm being completely honest with you, good riddance.